Hello, dear CNM viewers and followers, CNM Africa Set. Thank you for welcoming us again at home or from any kind of platform from which you are watching us. Today, it is a new number of your show that is called Sunu School. And as you all know, Sunu School is a show that is created, as I always say, to promote education and especially the English language, so that we can know and understand what are the importances of the language English. So as I always say again, for each number, we have a particular and important guest. Today, we have the honor and the pleasure to welcome on this set Mr. Sidibé. And Mr. Sidibé is responsible of the agency of the cooperation and partnership of the security agency. Mr. Sidibé, thank you for accepting our invitation and welcome on this set.
Thanks so much, Mr. Tao. First of all, greeting all your guests, all your viewers of this show. I mean, Sunu School, which seems to be a very nice concept. As you say, I am Mr. Sidibé, and I'm the responsible for cooperation and partnership in ISP, and I'm very happy to be here as your guest for this show.
Okay, thank you very much. I would say that the pleasure is shared. Me also, I am going to apologize you because it was not easy to have a show with you. At the very beginning, it was very difficult, but thank you for accepting this invitation. My first question is, how did you do to be good at English, to speak so good English?
Thanks for that question. I think that, first of all, it's just a matter of patience, you know. If you like a thing, if you like a language, the first thing you have to do is to try to learn it. So before I reached school, I was very fond of English. And even when I was in primary school, I was, you know, sometimes trying to join words in English, you know. And it's this passion that follows me until I do my high school, you know, after the primary school, and even at the university where I follow English from the first to the fourth years. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Well, thanks.
So it means that at the university you were in the English department?
Yeah, I was in the English department from first to fourth year. You know.
You are my teacher.
No, how could I be your teacher? You were teaching English.
You're my teacher. Thank you very much for that. So it means that today I'm very pleased to welcome on this set an English teacher, I would say.
An English teacher.
The job you are doing, you are an English teacher.
An English teacher, as you like, but just a guy who is fond of English, you know, a guy who likes English, who was supposed to be an English teacher when he was younger, but you know, things are what they are, and destiny, you know, takes me on another way, you know. That's the reason why I'm here, not as an English teacher as you, but you know, as a guy who is fond of English.
Yes, fond of English, yes, for sure. And when I hear you speaking English, I know and I admire the way you are speaking English. So the following question I'm going to ask you, so you said that you were at the university in the English department, and after your studies, you started working. Are there or is there any opportunity that you have or you had in the past that is or that are from English?
Okay, my first job I got as a receptionist in Orange by Meetings Africa. It was easy to be got because of the English I was talking. You know, this is the first opportunity that English opens for me, and also when I was there, it was very easy for me to communicate with, you know, foreigners. I mean, some Nigerian girls, some Ghanaian or Nigerian customers, and that is how I continue to speak that language when I leave the university after my studies. Okay.
So it means that whenever you finish your studies, you can get many opportunities because you speak English.
For sure, for sure. But it would be better to get another degree apart from English to be better. You understand? Because I think that English is just a passport. It's a key. But after my English degrees, I got a master in communication and also in international relations. You know, and it was very easy for me to deal with that things because of English also.
It means that
it was
English
the second opportunity.
Okay. English was the domain key.
Really.
Okay.
Really.
Okay. Okay. Now, today, we have just talked about the sense of English, the role it plays in the world, in the communication of the world in general. You are, I'm not going to say a businessman, but you are in the middle of the affairs. Surely you have some information about the role of the communication of the English, in communication in all around the world. What can you tell us about this role of English as the key of communication that allows to gather everyone? For example, Senegalese and Japanese, Japanese and Chinese, Chinese and American, American and Spanish. So whenever we are around a table from different nationalities.
Yeah, English is the first international language on earth, in the world, in the whole world, wherever you are, wherever you go. If you are not able to speak the native land, for instance, if you go in Japan and you're not able to speak Japanese, so the first language which will come in your mind is English. Okay. If you go to China, if you go even in the Francophone countries, if you're not able to speak the native language and French, if you speak English, some people, not everybody, but some people would understand what you say. That's the reason why English is very important, and everybody should learn that language. Okay. Everybody. Okay. In this new world, in this new century, I want to say, everybody should learn English.
Wherever you are, and whatever you can do.
And whatever you can do.
Even if you are a charcoal seller, someone who is doing small jobs.
Even if you are groundnut sellers.
Okay, you must learn English.
You must learn English.
Because one never knows.
You know, in English and computer science are the two things people should learn nowadays.
English and science.
And computer science, I mean informatics.
Computer science, yes, computer science. Yeah. Okay. Okay, people should learn
these two things in this new center.
In this new center. Thank you very much. Okay, okay. And now, the last word or the last verb you use is the beginning of my following question. Learn. Yeah. Do you think that the way that students, our kids, are learning English, or in inverse, the way that teachers are teaching English now, do you think that it is the right way to allow kids and children understand it very well so that they can speak it fluently?
I won't be able to answer to this question because I don't know really how they teach right now, how they teach English in high school, in classes, even in a university. I no longer, I don't know really how they teach. But you know, English is a language, and a language is done to be spoken. If you want to be very queen at a language, you have to speak it. And I think that from childhood, so we have to teach English to the children, for the kids, even those who are in primary school. So we have to start in primary school to teach English for the kids to grow with English, and it's gonna be easier for them, to be good,
to be fluent in English. Okay, starting learning English from the primary school. I think that it is one of the projects of this new government. They said that from this year, kids since the elementary school, they are going to start learning English.
I do like that that idea to start teaching English from the primary school, Because, you know, if you start learning English from secondary school, so sometimes it's not easy, because you'll have to learn many things at the same time. And it is easier to teach a language to a kid than to teach it to a teenager.
To a teenager, yeah.
Understand?
And
I do like that idea to bring in teaching English from primary school.
I think that will be very great for
Really,
kids.
really.
Because English is a fun language.
Right.
And kids, they like it. Sometimes even, I do not know if you agree or if you will agree with me or not, but sometimes before discovering the language, kids are eager to discover it. They are very happy having their first classes. I do not know what is the problem in the long run whenever they grew up, so that they can hate the language or they do not have the same affection, the same feeling on that. So according to you, what is the problem for that?
I think that it depends on teachers.
On teachers?
Yeah, it depends on teachers. Sometimes people tell you that, you know, I dislike this thing, I dislike this thing, I dislike English, I dislike mathematics, I dislike philosophy because of my teacher. And English, as you say, is liked by people, even by kids, even before they reach secondary school. But once in secondary school, if they got a teacher who is not able to teach well the language, this is a problem. But English is like philosophy. People like them before reaching even the class to teach, to learn it. But if you got good teachers, you know, when I was in CGM and Senkim, I was not very good at English. But
so do I.
But when I was in 4ème, I used to get a teacher who is also my uncle, Mr. Diallo. He shared the same mother and the same dad as my mama. He's Hilde, and he is the one who really showed me the way, because we were living in the same house, and every day he was doing his best for me to be good at English. That's the reason why I say it depends on teachers.
Yes. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes it depends on teachers, yes, sometimes. Kids, sometimes, or students in general, they love the subject, the school subject, English, mathematics, French, according to the way of doing of the teacher. Really? Yes, of course. And as I said, English is a fun language. If you make it fun, if you make children love it, they will surely love it.
They will love it, and they will love you also.
Yes, that is true.
If you dislike the people who is teaching, you won't be able to love what he's teaching.
Yes,
that's the problem.
Sure, for sure. That is a very big problem. Yes. Now, we often say that if there is a problem, there must be a solution. Really? So we have touched a little bit the solutions. But what can you tell us about deeper solutions so that we can solve this problem, to make kids love English and speak it, during all their careers, during all their studies, from elementary school to the university? The more they go, the better they love it. What can you suggest as solution for that?
So this is a kind of solution. Okay. So you can also think about some shows for kids in English. This is also a kind of solution.
Yes, motivation for them.
Motivation.
Okay, okay. Shows in which we have only kids, and we let them do not whatever they want, but we are going to draw rules and tell them this is what you must do, this is what you mustn't do, and this will be a kind of motivation.
What?
Right.
Why
yes,
not?
Yes, for sure, for sure. Okay. Getting also kids interested in the language also. I think that it depends on what you said a moment ago, on the way of teaching of the teacher, really, on the way of teaching. To know that I have a classroom, in which there are 10 students who are not interested in what you are doing. How am I going to do so that I can take them from where they are to bring them love English and love the subject? Let us suppose that I am an English teacher, and you're going to give me an advice for that. What will you tell me?
First, I'm gonna tell you to love yourself, to be correct first, because you are what you reflect. Sometimes people just dislike you because of your way of dressing,
yes.
of your your hairstyle.
Yes, and
You
your
understand?
behavior too, and your
Your
behavior.
behavior.
Yes, and your behavior too.
Okay.
Yes.
So and I think that you got to have a very good behavior in dressing, in terms of hairstyle, even in terms of communication. So, because English is a kind of poetic language. So you have to speak it as a poetic language to make it loved by others. You understand? Yeah.
I understand very well.
One of my teachers used to tell us, you must be one.
Yes, one.
You must be one.
This is the expression.
This is the expression.
I often say, whenever you start learning English, if you don't hear the Wolof word one, you haven't yet started. Not yet. If you start learning English, especially when you are in high school, at this level, you have to be, as you say, one. To pronounce the word, people are going to say, this is a one boy, this is a one girl. But know that you are on the way. On the way. Okay.
You're right.
Okay. Now, you said a moment ago that there are two things in this current world that people should learn. It is computer science and English. Now, I'm going to mix both to ask you a question on that. What do you think about studies and new technologies? Studies and new technology, because there are some teachers who belong to the old school,
Yeah.
such as me,
No.
who cannot use computer deeply. What do you advise them? Do you think that it is necessary for them to be very good at computer science?
It's more than necessary.
Okay.
It's a duty.
It's a duty.
Yeah, really.
It's compulsory for them.
Yeah, really.
Okay. Now, how are you going to explain that if you say that it's a
You know,
duty, it's a compulsory?
new technologies are here to make easy life.
Okay.
I mean, to make easy studies, to make easy research, to make easy human life.
Okay.
You got what I mean?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so if you are a teacher and want to be a very good teacher, so you have to learn that computer science to be good.
To be good at computer science.
To be good at computer science and to be
Because
good
sometimes-
at even at teaching. You can even learn teaching on computer science. I mean, internet is
From some videos.
From some videos, from YouTube, from other videos,
Other videos. Yes.
from other applications also. You know.
The behavior and the way of having actions in class, because I'm not sure that all the teachers know that, because there are some actions you mustn't do them in class. It is not accepted by the mindset of children and by the mindset of everybody. There are some actions. A teacher, whenever you are outside of the class, you can speak as you want, if you want. You can behave as you want, if you want. It depends on you. But whenever you are in class, I think that you have a strict behavior to adopt.
I think that even if you are out of class, you have to garden very good behavior, even if you are out of class, because you can find your students out of class.
Everywhere.
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 You can find them or find them everywhere you go. So the behavior you have in class should be the same behavior you'll have, because you know you have to be a reference. A teacher is first a reference. If you're not a reference, so you won't be a good teacher. They have to follow you, to follow what you're teaching.
As you say, to be a reference in front of them.
Really.
In any kind.
In any kind.
In whatever they take.
In whatever they take.
In the way of speaking.
Really.
In the way of behaving. In the way of dressing
Really.
also, it is possible sometimes.
Really.
In the way of acting with people.
Acting and interacting with people.
Okay. For sure. Okay, now, in your job, I said a moment ago to our viewers that you are the responsible of the Agency of Cooperation and Partnership of Security, local security. Do you often need English in your job?
Why not? If you talk about cooperation, you talk about English. If you talk about international relation, you talk about English. Because, as I said, English is the first international languages. Even in my job, sometimes I find people who are not able to speak English, to speak French, or to speak Wolof, our native language. The only language they are able to speak, they can speak, is English.
And if it happens to you to have some guests who are from abroad and they only speak English, or English is the only language they can join you, between you together so that you can communicate, what do you do exactly for the others? I think that all the team with which you are working, are they able to understand all what they are doing, or there is a kind of translator who comes to help others to understand?
So I can be my own translator. I can be my own translator for the others. But if it is, for instance, a forum, I mean, in this kind of situation, you will need translators for others, because you won't be able to translate for everybody. You understand? But if you interact directly with a guest, you won't need a translator, because it's gonna be from him to you and from you to, you understand?
Yes.
As communication is.
Communication,
you understand?
yes, yes.
Yeah, right.
It must be interactive.
Interactive.
Whenever you are face to face.
Right.
Yes, you're right. I was asking about the other members of the team, but you, I know that you speak English and you can be also the translator of those who do not speak. But I think that your responsibilities or your responsibility doesn't allow you to be very often the translator of those who are attending the forum or the meeting, but unfortunately for them, they don't speak English. They will have problems, surely.
Really? But in this case, you will need a translator for that.
A translator.
Yeah, really.
Okay, okay. So we are going to tell to everybody who is watching us to make effort to learn English.
Really?
Really.
They have to make effort to learn English.
Okay. So talking about that also, before the last question, talking about that, there are some people, they think that whenever they have other studies different from English, for them they escape having problem with English, because maybe sometimes they are not good at English and the job they will do in the future is not directly related to English. What do you tell them?
One day will come and they will be in front of a situation where they will regret not to learn English.
Okay. So they have compulsory, as you say,
to learn it. To learn it. And it is easy now to learn English. So you can learn English from internet. You can learn English from British Council. You can learn English even from school. So you can learn English everywhere.
Even from teachers, in online courses.
Yeah, really? Okay,
online
courses.
Online courses.
That's the reason why I told you that even computer science is
compulsory.
You understand?
You're right.
Yeah, really.
You're right again. Thank you very much. Okay, so now the last question is as or quite similar to the one you have already answered a moment ago. It is what are the advices you are going to give to everybody, wherever they are, to learn English, because in the future, as you said a moment ago, one day will come, they will need English, for sure.
Guys, love it and live it. That's all. Love it and live it. If you love it, you're going to learn it. If you learn it, you're going to understand it, and you're going to live it. That's all.
That's a very simple and direct
love
and
it
straight.
And live it. If you love it, you live it.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
If you love something,
you will make effort to understand, to know. Yeah.
That's a very direct, straight advice. Love it and live it.
If you don't live it, you won't live it. If you love it, you will live it. That's it.
That is sure.
That's sure.
That is sure really, and clear.
Really.
There is no better advice than that. Love it and live it. Okay, I'm going to take this as an advice, me too, and I'm going also to share it with my own students and with our followers, to say that Mr. Sidibé advises us to love English and to live English. And whenever we love English, we will live it. Sure, good advice. Thank you very much, Mr. Sidibé. What is your last word for this show? It was a pleasure to have you here.
It's that pleasure, and I'm gonna make a big up to my bro, which introduced you to me. I mean, Jah Alaji from Jah Almighty, as he called himself. Yes. Bro, when a doctor is sick and another doctor him, does a doctor's a doctor, the way a doctor wants to be doctored, or does he just doctor him the way himself wants to doctor him? That's
oh my
my
God,
question for him.
I'm sure that even me, I don't understand anything.
You know,
our followers too, they don't understand. Maybe you and Elijah will understand.
Yeah, he understands. He understands.
Yes. Okay, anyway, there is no
and
problem.
I make also a big up for my wife, you know, and my children, and all my brothers and my, you know, workmate where I come from. Big up to the headmaster there, you know, the chairman, Mr. Toure, as you know, and all the others, you know. By him, I greet all the others. Okay. And I'm praying for this TV also, and for the show also. Thank you. And I would like this show to be more greater, to be open to everybody. Don't stay, but inviting even those who are just trying to speak, invite them. Okay. Okay. Even those who are just trying to speak. Yeah.
I invite them really? So that they can show to others
that they are trying.
They are trying. Okay. And if you try, one day you will be able to. Yes, for sure. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. It was a pleasure having you on this show, and thanks also to our followers and viewers on CNN Africa Set. It was a pleasure today also to have this interesting guest who allows us again to know the importance or the important role of English about the communication of the world or the entire world. Thank you for watching us. An appointment is given to you next time on this same television. Thank you so much. Goodbye.